it's Jay in the workshop today. I had this idea to do a really cute little box, basically a holder for a single D20. I was thinking the base could be wood, the top could be like clear acrylic, and it would just be a little kind of almost a gag gift, you know, that says in case of emergency with the D20 inside. So, you know, in case of emergency, break glass, and hopefully it'll come together really nicely, but we'll see how it goes today. I think I can get it done in one day, but I don't want to jinx myself. I have all the materials I need though, so let's get started. Okay, first off I have to design the box, and I do use a website for that. Need to know how big our D20 is going to be, and then we go back and put that into our settings to generate the box file. And then I'm actually holding the die up to the computer screen to measure the sizes because it displays it the correct size. And then the next step, of course, is to set up the file for cutting and engraving and picking out a font. It actually matches my dice that I make, so pretty good. And then I got to kick off that in case of emergency because we're cutting that out of a different material. And this is basically setting up to cut all that little piece of wood in there into those little box shapes. You can see the finger joints and everything. Should take about 7 minutes, just under. This is kind of my favorite part. I kind of love watching the laser go in fast motion. It looks like magic. You can barely even see the laser at all. And this is nearly 7 minutes sped up into 10 seconds. I didn't manage to film the in case of emergency part, but it cut out perfect and the right size. And of course the next step is assembly, wherein I have to just put a little wood glue on. Now I did not make my allowances quite big enough on this. I made it a little bit tight, so in all honesty the wood glue was kind of a belt and suspenders situation. And you can see I had to use a hammer to even fit the pieces together, so it's doubtful that the wood glue would have been necessary, but for a prototype we just make sure we get all the steps. And then we're going to test the size of the D20, make sure it actually fits in the box, and you can see it's in there with plenty of clearance. And in fact, it's actually a little low, so I wanted to build a couple inserts out of foam board for it. Just a couple squares, so I did that off screen. But you can see that the lid fits on, and let's go ahead and get the inserts in there so the dice is displayed very nicely. A flat insert just to raise it up, and then that whole cutout to hold it in place, and you can see one of my beautiful ocean D20s. And we're going to go ahead and put that lid on right there. And I'm tapping it into place with a hammer because, like I said, I made it kind of tight. Too tight, in fact, because there it cracks. And frankly, when I showed off the final product, a lot of people kind of enjoyed the cracks, so go figure. Holy shit. It is rare that something comes out exactly the way that I wanted it to. And I said that when I did the cutting board as well, so you'll probably see a lot of me like absolutely geeked that something turned out the way I imagined it would. So the big takeaways here that I need to do, this is a prototype, right? And I had to keep reminding myself prototypes just have to be functional, they don't have to be perfect. The whole point is proof of concept to show that it works, and it does. Look, those little foam inserts I cut to put in there hold it in there pretty much perfectly, okay? And it is done in case of emergency, right? I could not be more pleased with how this turned out. When I do it again, because this is going to end up being, I think, the November prize for my Loot Crew patrons on Patreon, because at a certain level you get loot every month. Well, I make loot every month. You get loot quarterly. So I'm going to make a bunch of these for my patrons, and we will just make the allowances bigger so that the acrylic doesn't crack. And other than that, it's perfect. And then make sure this lines up properly as well. So we're gonna make it happen. Okay, guys? Hey, thanks so much for tuning in today. I hope you have a great day. Remember to take your meds, of course. And well, we made this today. Every day, all we need to do is make it a good one, all right? Peace.